Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today it is time for another declutter. Today we're doing concealers and powders. We're just going to ignore these made by Mitchell blush lights and blush glazes in the front here because I'm not getting rid of any of these, they're my children. But anyway, today we're going to do concealers and powders. There's quite a few in here that I know I'm definitely getting rid of, whether I'm going to pass them on to somebody who doesn't promote kind of different products or whether they're going in the bin because there's some that are a bit rough. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. There's going to be no order to this one because let's face it, this drawer is a hot mess. So first off, we've got some powders that I am actually keeping down this side. So if we could get them out. Jesus. First off, we've got the Vitamin Babe powder from the Beauty Crop in the shade Pink. Definitely keeping this one. This is a really nice light pink powder. You guys know I love my Jordana t-shirt Flossy Duo. So we've got a pressed powder on the top. And then underneath we've got a loose powder. So we're keeping this one. And we're also going to keep the Laura Mercier Tone Up Rose powder. I love this one too. Okay, then we've got this one, the Smoothing Sugar from Pink Honey. This is the blush and the powder duo. We are definitely keeping this one. And we're also going to keep the Huda Easy Bake powder. This is in the shade Cupcake, a great neutral shade for me. Right, okie dokie. I think I am going to keep the e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation. I really like this one. I don't have many powder foundations, so I'm going to keep this one. Something we are definitely getting rid of, Jeffree Star Translucent Powder, and then there's also the rose shade here. Unfortunately, I really love these powders, but it's just not a person I want to promote on my channel, so we're going to get rid of these and I'm going to pass them on to somebody else who will enjoy them, but obviously doesn't do any kind of promotion. Rimmel Lasting Finish Buildable Coverage Powder Foundation. This one is okay. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I might just throw this one in a handbag, just so I've kind of got an on-the-go powder with a little puff in the bottom. And we are going to keep the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder. I really like this one. Revolution Loose Powder Infinite Universal Loose Press Powder. I'm going to pass this one on. I don't ever use it. It's a nice powder, a little bit of flashback, so not ideal if you're going out, but just on an everyday, it's a nice one. And then Too Faced Born This Way powder in Translucent. There isn't a whole lot of this one left, but I just don't use it anymore, so I think I'm going to pass this one on as well. It's got a really nice sifter in this one. Okay, and then in the back we have a tiny little e.l.f. under eye setting powder, which I'm going to keep. And then I'm going to get rid of this one. This is the Becca Hydra Mist Set and Refresh Powder. Obviously you can't get hold of Becca anymore, but I do find this one does tend to leave a bit of cakiness. There's very little left in it, so I'm perfectly happy parting ways with that one. And that one's going to go in the bin. I've just realised I don't know why I don't take these out and pull this forward so I can stop struggling. Store powders. We've got the Maybelline Master Fix in shade U. I think this is just translucent. And then the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop in the shade Light. I think I'm going to pass on the Maybelline and I'm going to keep NYX just so I've got a kind of budget press powder, loose powder, sorry, in my collection. Okie dokie, moving on to concealers. I feel like most of the top stuff we're going to keep, most of the bottom stuff is going to go. So Angel Cake Corrector from Pink Honey in the shade Hot Pink is staying. The Uoma Say What concealer again is staying. And so is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Concealer. I mentioned in my foundation declutter that I love this foundation. I also love the concealer. REM Beauty Pot Concealer in the shade Light 3C is staying. Very pink, very light, great for my under eyes. I love this one. Then I'm actually going to get rid of this one. This is Revolution XXX Concealer in 01. I don't really like this one. It's quite cakey, so I'm going to pass that one on. I've got 3 of the new NYX Pro Fix sticks, which they actually sent me to test out. So we've got the pink shade, the light 04 shade, and a like contour shade, which is number 12. So I'm going to keep all of these. These are really nice stick concealers. I didn't think I'd ever enjoy a stick concealer again, but these are really lovely. Okay, another XXX Revolution concealer, which we're going to get rid of. Revolution Conceal and Define into Infinite. I don't really love this one, so I'm going to pass this one on because it's not that old. One of my all-time favourite concealers, NARS Light 2 Vanilla Soft Matte Concealer. This is a really beautiful pot concealer, so we're going to keep this one. If you saw my empties predictions video, I'm hoping to finish this one up. This is MAC Pro Longwear. Love the product, hate the packaging, but that's another one for another time. Urban Decay Naked Quickie, I really like this one, so we're keeping this. And we're also keeping the Fenty Bright Fix Eye Brightener in Rose Quartz. This is kind of, for me, like the original lightly pink under eye. I'm going to keep Juvia's, what are you called? It doesn't have a name on it, which is super helpful. Just the concealer. This is the shade 22. It's a really nice concealer. Nothing spectacular, nothing awful either. I'm going to keep the Huda Overachiever concealer. This one has got like a, if I can get the lid off, like a metal tipped applicator. It's a really nice high coverage concealer and one I reach for if I'm really struggling with my skin. I'm gonna get rid of the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser in Ivory Christmas. I've used sort of half of this up, but the tops really gross me out. And because I've not finished this one this year, this one's gonna get passed on. No, that one's gonna get thrown away, sorry. And then I'm going to pass on the Maybelline Superstay Activewear Concealer. I just don't like this. It's just a bit too heavy and a bit too dry for my skin. But it's got a really nice high coverage, so I feel like somebody else would enjoy it. Stay Naked Concealer from Urban Decay I'm going to keep. I'm pretty sure this is the same as the Quickie Concealer. So I'm going to finish this one up this year and then just move on to the Quickie. NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer. I don't even know how old that one is. The top's just, we're just going to throw that one away, I think. I'm also going to get rid of the Kimchi The Most Concealer. This is so dry, and it's got a little like brush tip applicator. It's a really nice like pinky toned concealer, but it's just too dry for me, so I'm going to pass that one on. Again, this one's going to get passed on. This is Jeffree Star's concealer. Again, I really, really like it, but I'm just not about supporting him, so this one's going to get passed on. Jouer High Coverage Liquid Concealer. This one is very, very high coverage. Again, another one I reach for when I'm really struggling with my skin, so we're going to keep that. And we're also keeping Too Faced Born This Way Eternal Light. This is one of my favourite concealers at the moment. Just very hydrating and luminous under the eyes. Another one to pass on is Conceal and Hydrate from Makeup Revolution. Again, just don't use this, but it's got plenty of product left in it, so somebody else will enjoy that. I'm kind of torn with this one. I really like the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum, but I'm not 100% sure if you can still get hold of this. So I think if you can still get hold of this, I'm going to keep this. If not, I'm going to pass it on to somebody else because it's really lovely. I just don't want to mention things on my channel that you guys can't get. And I'm also going to keep the number 7 Hydroluminous Dark Circle Concealer. Again, this has got another one of those horrible sponges on top, which I hate, but the product inside is really lovely. Another horrible sponge concealer is Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away. I can literally never get this one open. I always have to get Sam to do it for me. But I'm going to keep this because I really like the concealer. It's a bit of a pain that I can't open it myself, but it's very pretty. And we're also going to keep the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer from Charlotte Tilbury. I definitely wouldn't repurchase the Magic Away now I have this one, but I do really like both. I just don't think you need both. And Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Concealer is a really lovely one too, alongside the Dior Backstage Concealer. Right, we've got Benefit Boing Cakeless Concealer in number 1. Very, very nice, just a bit heavy for me, so I'm going to pass this one on. Oh, this used to be my holy grail concealer, Maybelline Fit Me. I'm going to pass this one on because I've not used this in years, and I've definitely used this one, so this is definitely time for the bin. Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Under Eye Concealer. This one was okay. It is very, very thick. Again, so I think I'm going to let go of that one because I did use most of it up. Another NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop. I'm not even sure this one's open, to be honest, so that one's definitely getting passed along. Rimmel Last and Finish 25 Hour. This was always way too dark for me. It's quite old at this point. It looks like it's a bit separated in the tube, so we're going to get rid of that. I'm going to keep my e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I really, really like this one. And we're going to pass on NYX Born to Glow Concealer. So that one's been passed on. Rimmel, sorry, is going in the bin. Revolution Pro Ultimate Radiant Under Eye Concealer. I did quite like this one. It reminds me very much of the NARS. What is it called? I can't remember what it's called. But it reminded me very much of the NARS stick concealer, so we're going to keep that. This one is going to be passed on because it's too dark. It's the Revlon Candid Photo Ready Concealer. Really, really nice product. It's just too dark for me. So I've probably only used it once or twice. The L'Oreal Infallible More Than Concealer. I do really like this one. It's a really nice kind of drugstore alternative to some of the higher end concealers. Very, very high coverage. So we're going to keep that one. I'm also going to keep the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the hydrating version and the Anastasia Magic Concealer, I want to say. Magic Touch Concealer. This is one that I really love, but again, it's too dark for me. It's the Hello Fab Bendy Avocado Concealer from First Aid Beauty. I think I'm going to keep this one, see how it matches me in the summer. If not, we're going to pass it on. And then we're getting to the real bottom here. It by Under Eye. Like the CC cream, I really can't stand this one. It's heavy, it's thick, it's gross. Not going to be passing it on because I just don't like it. We're not going to pass on the Eye Bright from Makeup Revolution. I can't get this one open either. I don't particularly enjoy this one, but with the sponge, we're going to get rid of that because it just feels gross and unhygienic. And then Max Factor Radiant Lift Concealer in Fair. Again, another one with a sponge. Why must we do these sponges? I don't remember how I feel about that one. I'm not going to lie. Let's pass it. Let's get rid of it though because it's got one of those sponges. This one is the Revolution Conceal and Fix in Light Pink. I do not like this concealer. It is too heavy. So we're going to pass that one on. Maybe to somebody with a younger under eye. And then the final two, Collection Lasting Perfection. This is just such a throwback concealer for me. I'm going to keep this one and try it out again because I used to really, really love it. And then the Clinique Even Better Concealer, which I love. We're going to keep this one. It's a little dark for me at this time of year. It's in the shade CN2. But I'm going to keep this one and hopefully finish that one up in the summer. So that one I feel like was a little bit easier. Let's give this all a wipe out, wipe down with Isoclean, and then let's put it all back in.